Welcome back to the numerological calculations and differences of comparability. Sense it all, rational perspective and truth. In this video, we're going to make it very basic, and here is the piece of paper. And we're going to do 2 or 3 videos inside of this showing different relationships. Mercury takes 88 days to go around the sun on a 60-day axis. That's 2 months, and that's comparable to Venus. Venus takes 224, 112, 56, 28. So we have to go 28 times what? 28 times 3 equals to 84 number in Pluto. 28 times 8, okay, equals 28 times 8, 28 and 8, the cycle of our moon, and 8 times our moon. There's 5 moons left over. 243 rotation, which is the vibration inside Mars. Here's Earth. Mars takes 686 days because the 7th gate is in between of the 9 birth of the 7th gate. 9 times 7, 63 moons, comparable on Jupiter. 6 by 8, 48, the number to Pluto. 24-hour day in the sun. We go on to the next calculation. We have Jupiter, 4331. Now it's a 4 numbers. Here there are 5 numbers. Here there are 5 numbers, and here there are 5 numbers. We are going to relate to the second numbers, put a 6 there. When it's 6, it becomes Zion Israel. 1 6 is the half-life, and 4 and 6 is 1.5 of the life. 4 times 1.5. 1 and 4 is your DNA creation of 3 and 3. Let's look at this as a record player. 572 to the Venus moon. Rotation of Mars, identical to Earth, the vibration, and 9 and 8 are the same letter design. 9 times 8 is 72, which is 1 part of the 288 parts, okay, inside a day, in which once you add Earth, it becomes 360, okay? So Earth is a little bit more than a circle to make a roundabout, because it's 360 to the circle, and okay? So we should be dividing all of these by 360. The next part is Jupiter and Saturn, 10.2. This is 162. It's compared to the Spirit and the Queen. What is the Queen? I don't know right now. I can't tell you. I can make up my own thing. That's zeros. All zeros equal 6. Once you have 0, you have man involved in this. So man is involved in here. 2 has to do with the 2 world, the 2 life, the spirit and man right over here. When 1 and 0 comes together, or 1 and 6, you're talking about the 7th gate. Uranus is creation of the birth inside the spirit heaven, A and I, and it talks again, 69 is rotation, man is involved. 17.14 days to go around, Neptune is 16 hours to go around. The difference between day and night of the gateway, the DNA, the spirit of Delta, whatever that pyramid angle is. Here it takes 60,000 days, which is double, which is triple, which is 2.5. which is 7 times the 7th gate. So we need to calculate between this side and this side. The difference over here, take away 10 from this, we're left with 14.1. The IT system in the sun is this difference. The difference over here is 14.5, 514. 1 times 4, 1 plus 4 equals 5 and 4. Again, both have to do with the movement inside the sun. So we now see what happens here. 4 times this equals 352. 13 is missing from the equality, or 13 point something to comparable to Earth. I'm just showing you relationships. All these have to do with our creation and our life, okay? It's more than just the Big Bang and all these planets setting up. These are the gears that rotate the system that we live in. How sure am I? Oh, I'm sure. Can I prove it? Absolutely not. But the scientists around me that will give me all these figures, I'll compare their figures and put them together, and other scientists will come in and say, yeah, it's absolutely true. This does work. So we're going to leave that part alone. We're going to go on to the next piece in the same video. Before we get on to the next video, this is very funny because when I put it under my arm and I just go and I hum. Hum, yeah, 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 yeah. I've got a planet Earth on my mind and I cannot live it just fine. It's the time to understand. Come along, come along. Hey, 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 come along. right and make it long. To last a lifetime in this song, we know we're going to run along. Okay, it's time to add a little on to the video after a little research. Pluto, between 4.4 billion and 7.4 billion miles away from the sun. 44 is an expression, okay? It's a delta angle. Two triangles, if you want to look at it that way. When you add up 1, 2, 3, 4, it equals to 10. The 10, 10 world, the separation. I believe the firmament, the reality of the totality of the solar system has to do with Pluto. Whether Pluto is the outside skirmish or whether Pluto passes halfway between the sun, guided that we put two angles together. Imagine the circle of the sun here, right? Pluto is out here, but its angle, if you run it this way, instead of going around the sun, it cuts right through the halfway of the sun. Pluto, at 5 and 9, says it is the farm. 5 and 9 is the farm. 4774 is the cross. 44 is space, saying the distance from the sun is the time of area space. Pluto, running time of 248, altered laws of 365, making 613 laws of Moses. Okay, it takes a 248 year to go around the sun, and I don't even know how many years because it doesn't say to turn around its own axis, which I guess it's not that much because it's a very small planet. That's what we think, right? At the same time, 248 years from 1773, okay, equals to the end of the cycle of 2021 or 2019, okay, which means in 2019, 248 years later from 1776, when we start this cycle as we the people, okay, ends in 2019. And that's the same number artificial intelligence begins. The same number when J and I begins. The same numbers when the heavens exchange. Remember what happens in language. In Spanish, the J becomes an H, the V becomes a V. In English, in English to French, the H is now silent. Okay, G and H have a silence together. So that's that scenario. Now we're going to run into the next scenario, and I've done this before, but I'm going to do it again, in which has to do with the zodiac. The word zodiac equals 58. The numerological count on the roulette board of 36 numbers puts 58 in the first position and switches it to the 8th position. Isn't that funny? 1 inside 8, creating Mercury and Neptune. Where 1 is inside 8, what surrounds, creating that 47, where Pluto would be involved. Where 78, which is the queen, or the number 12 is 87. The separation between 5 and 10 is now located in Pluto, switched over into Saturn. And where the cycle of the moon, where is in Uranus, okay? And where Uranus, okay, takes a total of creation of the birth and the gateway to the gateway of the DNA inside the sun, according to how much time it takes to go around the sun and how much time it takes to go around its own axis. Okay, showing you that it's a geared system. That's what I'm trying to explain. We go back to the word zodiac. Okay, the 26th letter, the 15th letter, the 4th letter, the 9th letter. Okay, 3.14, 3.14, the beginning of pi. CIA is at the end. Just talking. Where 2 and 1 come together to create the 7th gate to the minus and the plus, right? -1 plus 2 equals 7. Okay, we know that difference, right? +2, -1. When the -1 goes up to -9 and the +2 is -8, 9 and 8 is the high sky. Now we do the reverse alphabet and we get A, we get L, we get W, wall. We get 18, wall R, wall R's X. I don't know what it says yet. I have to look inside of it. 1, 3, 5 says ace. 8, 6, 4 is your time zone according to seconds around the whole day. Ace day, reverse alphabetical numerological calculation to the alphabet, where Z is 26, also known as the first alphabet when you count reverse. When I add them up, 1 and 25 equals to 26. 12 and 3. Okay, 25 and 1 is 26. 12 and 3 is 15. 8 and 15. Excuse me, what is this? 23? I have to look back. Sorry about that. 12 23 and 19 equals to 42. Now, what is that 23? It is the third letter in the alphabet, D, the reverse. The reverse when counting backwards. D is now W. WD-40, a little bit of lubricant maybe. Whereas artificial intelligence and the 9 lives of the cat, where the I comes in, is replaced by the R. 9 and 8 equals to 7 equals to 27. It is the only one that creates that. 9 minus 8 is 9. I know they're hard to see. So this is what happens when we take the zodiac count. Now we're connected. Okay, this is what happens when we do the reverse alphabet. 1, 12, 23, 18, 26, 24, 24, 26, where it's 1 and 3, altered current, becomes 26 and 24. Believe it or not, 26 and 24, located far left on the keyboard, also represents the dog and the cat, and 8 and 6. You add them, or you minus. 1 minus, 7 minus, 2 minus, 23 minus. Okay, when you add up the 27 reverse and you minus it, these are the numbers that come down below. The cube ends up where the cat is, right? And the chicken is born. It takes 21 days for the egg to hatch. Okay, Earth is 52. 9 is the birth, artificial intelligence, creation of Earth. Twice is it located in here. A and Z, alpha, omega in the same word. Now you reverse the count. We're going to reverse the count. Z26, O15. We're going to add them up and continue. Okay, 26 plus 15 is 41. That will create your DNA numerological numbers and create the number that creates the sun. The next number will create 45, which is the sun and is the passage inside the sun. 45 plus 9 is, if I look at it correctly, 45, 58, 26, and 15 equals to 41, and 4 is 45, and 9 equals to the sun, which equals to the sun, and 5 times 4, 5 plus 4 create the 9 birth and the IT system in the sun. When you count it backwards, when you count it forward, it creates, this is what is known as the queen. This is the creation. The next letter becomes 1, it becomes 4. Right away we have 3, 4, 4 DC. 3, 4, 4 DC. This is when you count 3 plus 1 plus 9 this way, and then you count it this way. Then we minus them from each other, or add them. When you add them up, add them 12, 58 and 26 is 84. Pluto equals to 61. 61 is the half-life and also represents the moons and Saturn. When you minus them, this becomes 32. And that is the freezing point. It is also known as the BC world and communication through the coding system, the CB code 200. Adding and minusing these numbers, I'm going to tell you that the first number becomes 32, the second number becomes 9. So the birth at the frozen gateways, the next number is 4517, creates 28 cycle in the moon, in which reverts to the queen. The next number is 54, minus and plus becomes 67, which is water. You minus it becomes 41, the DNA. The next one becomes 55, which is the passage, the crossing of the cross. Okay, added equals 59, EIO, above and below, 2 circles connected together. Minus equals to Mars. And the last one, again, we add up to Saturn. So these are all the numbers, and I can do that with fire, air, passive, water, and earth, and all these numerological calculations. Remember, all these numbers relate somewhere in our earth. Because I'm not a supercomputer calculator, I cannot show you everything. Over here, what is this? It's the number 3. I connected 3, 3 reverse, and this is the design I get. 3 and E. See this separation? 3 and E, the separation. This is exactly what design I get. I'm just going to take a look. 1 to 9, same side in 10 family. Same side, the 9 is inside the 10 family. Therefore, okay, inside the 10 God, the 9 on the stripe side, and the yellow soul is now all connected. The yellow soul, the yellow spirit, the yellow protein inside the egg is inside the 10 house. Remember, the 10 house, the hen house, the calculations for 10, 11, and 12, when you get to 0, that's not really a 0. That's one of the 0. Because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, then it's 1 in the 0, and then it's 11, 12, 13. They're all connectors. They're all connectors. Triplicities, twilight zone. Twilight zone says 2 and 3 in the same word. Here says triple, pliable, put together, okay? Impliqué, together, cities, IT system. S in your DNA connected system. Everything is connected. Just fooling around with the letters where E and V become 5 and 22. They are the same, Roman numerologically connected. N and M are the same, and WD are the same. They all equal 27, but downward it equals 17, the queen, 0, 1, alpha, 19, artificial intelligence. That's how these three connect. Why did I choose these three? Because when this number over here, this over here, is DMV are all in the same family. 444, 444. 4, 4, 4. 2 times 2 is 4. 1 times 3 is 3. 3 and 4 is 7. There is no 4 for this. 7, 11. 7 and 4 is 11 because 4, okay, has, I can't exactly explain that, but 7, 11 because 4 is all of, what is the relationship of that? Raphael, 72, 86. In the constellation of Pegasus, catching up. Thank you for watching the reality truth of numbers and science that I have followed for a few years.